Hey guys! Welcome to Polish Your English with Pau. My name is Paulina, and in this grammar video we're going to learn how to talk about conditional structures. There are different types of conditional structures used for different contexts. In this video we will have a look at zero conditional, first conditional, and second conditional. So, first of all, let's have a look at when we use them. So, look at the different halves of these conditional sentences and try to match them. Now match the examples to the uses of conditional structures in the table. As you see, we use zero conditional to talk about facts or things that are always true. If you rest a lot, you have more energy. First conditional is used to talk about things that are possible or probable in the future. If she drives to the center, she'll have to pay for parking. And finally, second conditional is used to talk about hypothetical situations in the present, things that are unlikely or impossible now or in the future. If Tina studied more, she wouldn't fail her tests. So if you have a look at this the first sentence, which is the zero conditional sentence, it is always true. The first conditional, well, there is a possibility that this will be true in the future. And second conditional, it shows us that something is hypothetical. I mean, Tina doesn't study more, okay? If she did, she wouldn't fail her tests. So it's hypothetical about present or future. Conditional sentences have two parts. We call these clauses, the hypothetical clause and the result clause. Look, if Tina studied more, that's the hypothetical clause, she wouldn't fail her tests. That's the result clause. You can sometimes replace if with when. When you rest a lot, you have more energy, but you can only do that in the zero conditional sentences. So, how do we make sentences in the conditional structures? If you have a good look at these sentences, I'm sure you'll figure it out. So, have a look at the table again and match the structures to the examples. And I'm sure this is easy peasy lemon squeezy for you. Zero conditional, we've got if with present, there's always a comma there, and it's followed by present tense. In the first conditional, if is followed by present tense, then we've got our famous comma, will or future tense, and will is always followed by infinitive, so remember that. And finally, the second conditional, we've got if, past simple, comma, and would followed by infinitive. The result clause can also come before the hypothetical clause, but then, watch out, you omit the comma. Look, she'll have to pay for parking if she drives to the center. You have more energy if you rest a lot. Tina wouldn't fail her tests if she studied more. If you change the order, the comma disappears. Also, it's worth mentioning that we often use the contracted forms of will, and we say or want, and D for would or wouldn't, alright? So now it's time to practice. Have a look at these wonderful conditional sentences. We need to complete the gaps to create, well, the conditional sentences. Watch out. First of all, ask yourself, is this probable or improbable? Or possible or impossible? So let's have a look at the first sentence. If it, very cold, water. Well, it's definitely probable. Now, is it about now or is it always true? It's always true. So we need zero conditional because it talks about possible situations which are always true. So if it gets very cold, water freezes. You got if, present simple, comma, present simple. Let's have a look at one more together. They, banana, to the doctor. If Lily, banana, a headache again tomorrow. Okay, so this is about future. Tomorrow, that's future. And is it possible? I mean, well, yeah, of course you can go to the doctor. So, possible about future. This is going to be the first conditional. So, watch out. It doesn't start with if, so we need to start with will. They will go to the doctor if Lily has a headache again tomorrow. All right. So, now it's your turn. Stop this video if you would like to check, well, think about sentences 3, 4, 5 and 6, because I'm going to show you answers in 10 seconds. Alright, so let's check your answers together. If Mike banana, him, I have already left place. Well, this is definitely about future. So, it's going to be the first conditional. If Mike calls, will you tell him? I have already left place. Be careful. The second part is a question, so will, the very energetic auxiliary verb, has to run to the beginning, and it's right in front of the subject. Number 4. Sophie, banana, the cake, if she banana, to do it. So, I think this can be both about present and future, and it depends on whether Sophie makes the cake or whether she doesn't want to. So, Sophie wouldn't make the cake if she didn't want to. No haría la tarta si no quisiera. Or Sophie won't make the cake if she doesn't want to. No hará la tarta si no lo quiere. So, well, in this case, there are two options. Okay. Number 5, when you banana the airport, you banana allowed to stop outside the terminal building. When you enter the airport, you will be allowed to stop outside the terminal building. So I would use the first conditional here or zero conditional here, because it can also be true. And finally, if I banana a wildcat, I think really frightened. Well, I don't live in a jungle, so I would use a second conditional here. If I saw a wildcat, I think I would be really frightened. But let's imagine that I'm on my way to the zoo. I could say that if I see a wildcat, I think I'll be really frightened. And as you see, both options are correct. So numbers 4, 5 and 6 depend on the context. So sometimes one sentence is hypothetical for one person and it's absolutely possible for another. And that's everything for today. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. If you have any questions, you can ask me in class or you can also ask me in comments. I am really excited to practice this grammar point with you in class. Bye!